English Planet. Appunti di inglese, a cura di Nicholas Youldon.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another lesson in the series of English Planet. Another step in the right direction. Al microfono Nick Youldon, l'insegnante di inglese che cerca di migliorare comprensione internazionale in modo ecospirituale per ridurre anche il conflitto internazionale e portare un po' di pace e un sorriso nel mondo. Dunque, stavamo guardando nel passato e questo è un argomento che è molto vasto e quindi non è ancora finito. Se guardiamo i fatti, il nostro universo ha 13 qualcosa miliardi di anni, il nostro pianeta ne ha 4 miliardi e mezzo di anni e l'umanità è chissà quanti perché raccontano un sacco di frottole. Però non vi preoccupate perché il verbo tosto inglese esiste per lui solo un passato e non cambierà mai niente una virgola. Questo ci aiuta un sacco ragazzi perché se dobbiamo indagare o commentare qualcosa in tutta quella massa di passato è meglio certamente farlo con un verbo inglese come amico. Basta memorizzare un paio di verbi utili e poi via, indietro fino a Big Bang e forse anche oltre. Adesso vi spiegherò un po' un miracolo, il grande miracolo dell'inglese moderno, il miracolo di did e didn't. Cosa o chi sono did e didn't? Allora, sono le domande e i negativi nel passato nella lingua inglese. Vediamo ad esempio usando una combinazione di did più un nome o pronome più un qualsiasi verbo e possiamo fare fino a milioni di domande sempre sul passato. Esempi: Did you go to the cinema yesterday? Did they see John yesterday? Did you watch the football match? Did they drink some beer? Did John drink some beer? Did Mary drink some beer too? Did the dogs go for a walk? Did the cats chase the dogs? Did the dogs chase the cats? Questo piccolo did è una meraviglia, gente. 3 lettere, D-I-D, did. È invariabile, è valido per tutti gli usi. Did I, did you, did he, did she, did it, did we, did you, did they, did John, did Mary, did the boys, did the girls, did the people, did anyone? Did dinosaurs drink tea at 5 o'clock? I don't know, that's a stupid question. Well, I don't know, it may not be a stupid question. Forse una domanda non è mai stupida comunque, però un esempio qui di come si può fare un milioni di domande senza grossi problemi, usando sempre un did. E c'è qui un altro fondamentale della lingua inglese. Quando si sente questo did, tutte le orecchie, tutti i cervelli nel raggio si svegliano. Oh, una domanda nel passato. Did una domanda nel passato. Bisogna rispondere. Non si può assolutamente fraintendere perché c'è un did davanti a un nome o pronome. Did you, did John, did they, did we. Sempre un did davanti e un nome o pronome dopo. Una cosa fondamentale alla lingua inglese, che anche aiuta completamente la comprensione, è il fatto di in che sequenza si mettono le parole. L'inglese stabilisce che la sequenza delle parole è fondamentale per capire il senso della frase, del discorso, per dire. Questo con Cesare, latino, italiano, non importa veramente la posizione delle parole, perché le parole hanno legami chiari tra di loro, facendo cambiamenti tra un oggetto complemento, un soggetto complemento, un verbo nel passato, eccetera. Tutti questi cambiamenti delle parole sono spariti in inglese e quindi è fondamentale per capire il senso di un discorso, a seguire le sequenze delle parole. Tutte le parole, tutti i discorsi in inglese partono con un soggetto, può essere un pronome oppure una cosa. The man, the dinosaur. Facciamo una domanda? No, non facciamo domanda, facciamo un esempio. Dinosaurs drank water. Dinosaurs drank water. Drank, drink, drank, drunk. Bere. Dinosaurs drank water. Question. Did dinosaurs drink tea? Did dinosaurs drink tea? No. Dinosaurs drank water. Stupid. Il stupid non ci va qui ovviamente perché è un insulto, ma agli inglesi piace giocare quando parlano, quindi questo per umorismo in inglese lo mettiamo. Comunque non c'è stupid. Did dinosaurs drink tea? No, dinosaurs drank water. Qui abbiamo visto un'affermazione semplice. Dinosaurs drank water. Subject, verb, object. La regola poi qui dice che per fare una domanda di questa affermazione bisogna fare un'inversione. Però questa inversione non si può fare solo con un verbo, dicendo ad esempio drank dinosaurs water. Non si può mettere un verbo normale davanti al suo soggetto. Drank dinosaurs water. Forse nel passato lontano si faceva così in inglese, ma oggi come oggi no. È per quello che ci serve did. Come serve anche il do nel presente, oppure un are you, ad esempio, si mette il verbo davanti sempre al soggetto per fare una domanda. Do you like tea? Si vede c'è un ausiliario do davanti al pronome. Do you like tea? E questo vale anche per il passato dove si usa did per questa comodità. Did dinosaurs drink tea? No, dinosaurs drank water. Torniamo al nostro sistema normale per rispondere, per fare l'affermazione. È per questo che il nostro amico did è molto utile, perché indica subito che c'è una domanda di mezzo. Indica did davanti alla persona e una domanda. Did John come to the party? Did Mary go to the cinema? Did the universe start with Big Bang? Did the Vikings visit America before Columbus? Poi il nostro piccolo amico ci aiuta molto con le risposte anche per risparmiare tempo e non ripetere tutte le informazioni. Did the Vikings visit America before Columbus? Yes, they did. Did the universe start with Big Bang? Yes, it did. Did John come to the party? Yes, he did. But he drank too much whiskey and fell asleep under the table. Se non c'è bisogno di aggiungere informazione ai nostri discorsi, se basta una risposta breve, allora finiamo così, basta la risposta brevissima. Yes, I did. Yes, he did. Yes, they did. Yes, it did. Oppure, nel negativo per caso, no, I didn't. Yes, no, she didn't. No, it didn't. No, they didn't. Bene, risposta alla domanda, passiamo alla prossima. Oppure chiudiamo e andiamo al bar. Non c'è bisogno di sprecare tempo e parole e respiro allargando i discorsi, una risposta breve e basta. Non siamo scortesi, solo economici. Se siete attenti, sicuramente avete notato che qui si è infilato il nostro altro piccolo amico, il famoso didn't. È il contrario di did. Did, didn't. Didn't ovviamente è il contrario, il negativo, cioè del passato, di un qualsiasi verbo nel passato, un ausiliario che indica il negativo. Effettivamente è composto da due parole piccole, did e not. Did, not. Detto didn't, didn't, didn't. Ma Che strani suoni che facciamo noi inglesi. Però questo semplice strumento qua ci permette di negare qualsiasi cosa nel passato, qualsiasi cosa. E ce n'è da negare nel passato. Ad esempio, Columbus didn't discover America. Shakespeare didn't write books. He wrote plays. Julius Caesar didn't invade Scotland. Dinosaurs didn't drink whiskey. Almeno non credo. John didn't come to the party. He fell asleep on the train and woke up in Edinburgh. Adesso vediamo un attimo le risposte brevi come stavo facendo prima, nel senso positivo. Qui nel negativo. Did Columbus discover America? No, he didn't. Did dinosaurs drink whiskey? No, they didn't. Did John come to the party? No, he didn't. Did you understand all that explanation? Yes, we did. Si nota che non ho fatto traduzioni di tutte queste frasi che stavo dicendo adesso, perché linguisticamente non penso che sia difficile da capire, sono sicuro che tutti capiscono lo stesso. Servono solo per dare esempi su come può essere utile questo ausiliario did e suo fratellino didn't. Importantissimo nell'uso della lingua, soprattutto un grande aiuto nell'usare il passato in inglese, evitando problemi di formare il verbo o pronunciare bene il verbo nel passato. Si vede che basta fare un po' di domande in qualsiasi cosa nel passato. Parlando con un inglese poi succede un fenomeno che è molto importante, che secondo me nella comprensione delle lingue straniere. Tu fai una domanda tipo Did John come to the party? E l'altro risponde No, he went to the cinema. Facendo dialoghi, discorsi e domande in questa maniera si vede che la persona, l'interlocutore, la persona con cui stai parlando, ti fornirà poi un sacco di informazioni e soprattutto i verbi nel passato. Quello che succede è che tu impari usando, ascoltando e ripetendo, mimetizzando, imitando il tuo amico davanti. È importantissimo comunque nel mondo della comprensione di fare domande, secondo me bisogna sempre essere curioso e fare domande, bisogna sapere fare domande anche bene. Sapendo bene come usare il nostro piccolo amico Did, ci aprirà tutto un mondo di possibilità nella lingua straniera inglese. Facendo domande in giro aprono discorsi, conversazioni, incontri e scoperte, perché stai invitando altri a parlare con te. Basta naturalmente non fare domande impertinenti, e quando un inglese ti dà una risposta in inglese ti dà un buon modello per copiare, per imparare la lingua stessa. Altro che stare lì a studiare libri di testo oppure ascoltare il professore della scuola media, perché non sono modi per imparare un buon inglese questo. Le mie prime lezioni di italiano ho fatto in una panetteria in piazza Borromini di Torino. Mi sono trovato lì in una coda, in negozi pieni di vecchie signore e non sapevo com'era il pane da vedere, ma non sapevo chiedere il pane in italiano perché non avevo mai studiato l'italiano appena arrivato dall'Inghilterra. Cosa ho fatto? Invece di aprire un dizionario o chiamare un maestro di italiano, ho sentito semplicemente la cliente, la signora davanti a me nella coda che diceva 2 ciabatte per favore. E quando tocca a me ho detto solo 2 ciabatte per favore e ho ricevuto 2 ciabatte. Magari in quel momento non era proprio il pane che cercavo, ma almeno era pane e potevo mangiare e avevo imparato un po' di italiano. Now a few curious questions for you. Where did you learn English? Did you have a good English teacher? Did you study English in England? Did you enjoy studying English in school? And why did you enjoy studying English in school? Or why didn't you enjoy studying English in school? Ok, basta, didn't. Adesso facciamo una piccola pausa, un po' di pubblicità e poi tornerò con un po' di chiacchierate in inglese. A fra poco. This is Radio Dreamland, stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Meditazione planetaria del martedì. Radio Dreamland si unisce all'iniziativa della meditazione planetaria del martedì sera, organizzata dal New Earth Circle. Ogni martedì sera alle 21 vi invitiamo a partecipare alla meditazione planetaria dedicata a Madre Terra e a tutti i suoi figli di qualsiasi specie. Ognuno può unirsi al cerchio planetario dei meditanti partecipando da soli o con i propri cari, per una testimonianza di pace e di spiritualità che abbracci tutto il pianeta, per un atto d'amore verso Madre Terra, per un mondo antispecista. Unitevi con noi in meditazione, seguendo la Nassinar, la musica del vuoto eseguita al flauto da Giancarlo Barbadoro. Ogni martedì alle 21. Per informazioni www.newearthcircle.org. Radio Dreamland. Share the vision.
And welcome back to the second part of English Planet. All in English, an interactive exercise in thinking and reflecting in English. You're listening to the voice of Nick Youldon, speaking from a context of eco-spirituality and tuned through Radio Dreamland. This evening I want to speak about, to comment on some of my experiences of life on planet Earth in the last week. These are my personal experiences, personal comments and personal opinions. Wherever you are, you can listen to them, you can compare them to your own experiences, your own thoughts, your own reflections, and you can try an interactive exercise in thinking in English. You don't have to write a book, you don't have to go on television, you won't be interrogated by your teacher. All you have to do is experiment, try thinking in English for a short while. Ask yourself some questions. Find answers to your questions. Try it in English. You may be surprised at what happens. First, a linguistic problem. Not a new linguistic problem, something which has been seen before, where authorities try to tell people what language they have to use to describe things, objects and events in their lives. Linguistic oppression in non-democratic societies is very, very common in history. Also, hidden linguistic oppression inside democratic societies is a very common occurrence. Freedom of thought and freedom of expression are basic human rights. They should not be interfered with. If I want to call my cat dog, then I should be free to call my cat dog. If my cat or dog are then confused and other people are then confused, that's their problem. I know that my cat's name is Dog, and that's what's important for me. I don't think I will be causing any damage to my cat, myself, any dog or any human being if I carry on with my strange relationship and my strange agreement with my friend the cat. This week the European Commission in Europe, in Brussels, and Coldiretti, an organization within Italy, are both objecting to the fact that I want to use the term meat to describe food which I may want to buy and eat or not, and which does not contain meat but contains an alternative which tastes and looks and feels like meat. If I buy a product which is an alternative to meat but doesn't contain meat, I know exactly what I'm buying, I know exactly what I'm eating, and I know it is not doing me any substantial harm or anything bad to my health. There is no substantial damage or danger in the fact that I want to use the word meat to describe a product which does not contain meat. As a consumer and a human being, I don't need any protection from the European Commission or Coldiretti, and I don't believe that linguistic objections are any kind of protection in any case. The basis behind the objections, in my opinion, is fear. The European Commission in Brussels and Coldiretti in Italy are both organizations which exist to protect the interests of the agricultural sectors in Europe. The obvious aim of these organizations is to create obstacles or difficulties to stop what is effectively a real competition from individuals, companies, organizations producing and selling products which are not based on the agricultural sector. These are not animal products. A growing and increasing number of people in modern majoritarian society, Western society, don't want animal products. This is a big problem for organizations like the European Commission, Coldiretti, and various members of the agricultural sector, working exclusively with animals. Here, a linguistic objection is simply a clumsy attempt to help and support people who abuse animals, namely the agricultural sector. If you don't understand the word clumsy, I suggest you look it up in your dictionary. It's an amusing and interesting little word and quite useful on occasions. Clumsy, C-L-U-M-S-Y. This term clumsy is particularly applicable to what Coldiretti apparently is trying to decide or talk about this week. Coldiretti apparently has some objection with the use of hamburger for products which do not contain meat. As an object of linguistic study, the word hamburger and the word burger may be of great interest historically. Before it was introduced into America, imported by the Americans as convenience food, it was a specialty dish eaten mainly or maybe exclusively by the citizens of Hamburg in Germany. This was a sort of symbolic association similar to maybe bagna cauda in Piedmont, except that it actually had the name of hamburger. The dish did actually contain meat, unspecified meat, together with other ingredients as compacted into the typical disc form which we know today. A hamburger or burger is nothing else than a sort of edible compact disc containing meat and other ingredients. I have no historical documentary evidence, but there is no substantial reason why hamburgers or burgers should be associated with the use of meat. It's true that probably the most common form included meat, but it's also possible that many local versions were made without meat. The vegan hamburger therefore may have existed more than a century ago in Hamburg. I don't know, unfortunately. What happened over the decades is the Americans, with their love of simplicity and possibly a lack of respect for ancient traditions and ancient cultures, they began to see an invisible, non-existent separation in the word hamburger, because they said, or they believed, that hamburger means ham, that's prosciutto in Italian, and burger, a disc of meat containing ham. This was a completely false linguistic assumption and a fake news which permitted the Americans then to use this linguistic atrocity to impose a dish on the world, which is known as nowadays a burger, and marketed around the world in conditions of varying toxicity, in giant supermarket, large retail organizations run by Americans. Not forgetting, of course, the giant fast food outlets which have appeared and disappeared over the decades. Since the markets themselves invented various terms such as beef burgers, cheeseburgers, fish burgers, bacon burgers. There cannot be anyone left in this world who doesn't think or doesn't believe they know what is actually contained inside the burger they are buying or eating. While in fact, in reality, the opposite is true because of the systems of retail marketing on a large scale, and because of systems for labeling food. That means describing the contents, the ingredients inside them. Nobody actually knows what is inside a burger. And you probably need a university degree or a doctorate even to try and interpret the explanations of what they contain. So I don't really understand what Coldiretti is hoping to achieve by linguistically objecting to the use of the term hamburger. It may well be possible, though, that there are millions of wonderful, friendly American cowboys anxious to come to Europe armed with pistols and rifles and prepared to defend the good name of the hamburger. But then, what did the Americans do to the pizza? Is a vegan pizza okay with Coldiretti and the European Commission? Seriously though, what I can see here, what is behind these strange linguistic objections by these strange organizations, it is that there is actually a movement, something stirring in terms of protection of animal rights, a desire in people to change something about what we're doing with animals and what we're eating, principally in terms of animal products. What is evident is that the ideas of Giancarlo Barbadoro, the Rosalba Notero, the SOS Gaia, Eco Spirituality Foundation and Radio Dreamland are in tune with a feeling among the people, among the populations of modern majoritarian societies, in particular, I think, Western European society. We, the people, have to change something, and I think we, the people, are beginning to listen. Another item of news which filtered through the COVID barrier this week was the discovery or the reporting of a large image of a cat, a feline, on the side of a mountain, apparently in Peru. This discovery, phenomenon, piece of reporting, article, belongs to the category of Radio Dreamland's world of mysteries or the world of the invisible. And then it's curious that it managed, obviously it must have importance, because it managed to survive what I just described as the COVID barrier, in which in modern times, at present, people can only think, talk, read, write and discuss anything about nothing else but viruses. Then suddenly we have the image of a large feline appearing on a hillside in Peru which has never previously been seen or reported. This is not really surprising in terms of Peru because it becomes part of the existing and well-known Nazca lines which are in the area of and the culture of Paracas. These were discovered or revealed in the 1930s, I believe it was, by a German lady, and have obviously become world famous and well known and visited by many millions probably of tourists, including myself. Visible, however, only effectively from the air. You need to get into a small plane or a helicopter and fly over the area to see and enjoy these incredible works of art. Not far from Caracas and just off the coast of Peru, there is also a small island where you can see a gigantic three-armed candelabra, a three-candle candelabra, which is an important symbol in esoteric cultures. This is similarly carved in large scale, very large scale, on an island, and it is visible. If you want to see it, again, you have to take a plane, or you can go by sea and drive around in a small boat and view this thing, which is an obvious curiosity. It generates mystery and surprise in the individual who uses, who observes these things. The biggest mystery surrounding these works of prehistoric art Is the fact that they're virtually indelible. They resisted over who knows what period of time. They are so old that in fact nobody knows when they were created, or who created them, or why they were created. They are literally carved or cut into the ground or rock, and they simply don't disappear. They don't go away. The other obvious mystery is how were they conceived and how were they created, because they are on such a large scale that who may be working on the ground, scratching or marking the rock, cannot possibly imagine what they're doing, and who is going to see what they're doing. These things are only visible either from a long distance if they happen to be on the side of a hill, or they can be seen from the air if someone flies over the area. But in the long distant past, who had aeroplanes, or even helicopters or drones? This phenomenon is not restricted to Peru, because I know and have seen similar examples in the countryside of England. There are at least two well-known examples of horses inscribed into the hillsides in the country. And not far from the place where I was born, there is a large figure of a giant, or in any case a huge man, with an erect penis. This last image obviously is well known locally and quite frequently visited and photographed, but people generally don't talk about it because it seems to be an erotic expression. Even if you don't talk about it, the fact remains that he is still there. He is not going away. He was created by some kind of intelligent civilization in the past for some purpose, and I think maybe we should, if not talk about it, at least think about it. Unfortunately for this program at least, the past has again overtaken the present. Time is my enemy. There is no time left to tell you more stories. I'll be back next week with more, but in the meantime remember that we are approaching the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain or Samhain, immortalized by its Americanized name of Halloween. We all have the chance to enjoy what is a moment of peace and tranquility in a very special season of the year of transition from one season to another during the calendar year within our nature, within planet Earth, Mother Earth. But also significantly a moment of close contact with the spiritual world. That same world that probably was celebrated by the kind of past civilizations who are invisible to us, but who left us significant large-scale images drawn on the rocks in the hillsides around us. This is Nick Youldon sharing the vision with you on Radio Dreamland, wishing you a good evening and a wonderful Samhain, or if you prefer an alternative term, Halloween. Good night.